Okay. Thereafter, now let us continue with the uh, same example. Int calculate sum int x int y, and next this is the body. Here int s, a local variable we are defining. S is equal to, or I make it a z. Z is equal to x plus y. Now return z. This is the return statement. This is the example. Through this example we consider. Now we discussed about the modifier, and with a 0 or one or more modifiers we can define. Thereafter, int return type. Actually, before explaining return type, let us first consider a real life example. Actually, we engage specialists in real life. All the specialists can be classified into three groups. All the specialists what we are engaging are three types. First type, we don't give anything to them, they do not return anything to us. That is first type. Suppose you take a cleaner, you engage a cleaner to clean your house. Then you don't give anything physically, and he cleans and goes. He does not return anything to you. That is first type of method. Actually, now you see one method of that model I show you. Print a line. Print line is a method, and in this one SOP statement we write, and one line we write. We are not giving anything, and it draws and goes. Okay, so it is not returning anything, it is not taking anything, it is not returning anything. First type is a method which does not take any arguments with no return value. That is first type. Second type, let's come real life angle. We give something, and the specialist does not return anything. That is second type. That is, what is the example? A painter. You are engaging a painter to paint your room. Then for painter, what you have to give? You have to give paint, and he applies paint to the walls and go. But he does not return anything. That means that is second category. That means functions which takes argument, and it does not return anything. Suppose now one example I give you. Print value. Suppose you are providing a value to this, and SOP is writing x. See that, compare the two. This is a method which takes no argument, no return value, and a second type of method which takes argument but does not return any value, takes value. This second group. And third, and these are not, both are not returning anything. So we should not keep quiet. It should be indicated by one keyword, is called void. What does it mean? This is void is a return type of the method. This method does not return anything. It is specified by void. If you don't write anything, it leads to error. And this also does not return anything. You have to specify with the return type void. That always you remember. And third type, most methods are like this. We give arguments, we give something, they return some other thing. Then you take a tailor, we give cloth, in turn they give dress. Understand? For a flour mill person, you give wheat, after process he gives flour. So that type of thing. Actually, for them, return type should be appropriate return type you must declare. Now you see, int x, int y, int versus int. int. So what it is returning? Int type. Suppose this is float and int, then float versus int, it becomes float. Okay, in that way, always depending on the given arguments, given types of arguments, then we have to define the return type. That is very important. Actually, from real life angle, what is return type also we understand. Actually, somebody gives something to you. It may be liquid or it may be solid. It may be 1 kg, it may be 10 kgs. So somebody gives you something means you should carry appropriate container. Am I right? Appropriate. If it is liquid, one type of container you take. If it is solid, other type of container you take. Okay. If it is 1 kg quantum, then one type of container you take. If 10 kgs, you take some other type of container. So always you choose right type, appropriate type of container depending on the nature and quantum of the good. In the same way, return type also should be. That is the basic purpose of the defining return type. Understand? Void. Why we are defining void means somebody does not give anything. Why you should carry something? That also you need not carry anything. Is specified by the term void. That you must understand. Okay. Now this is the complete meaning of header. In this, one more thing. These are called params list, parameter list. These parameter list is meant for receiving the copies of the values and store them temporarily. Now, originally what I have written, int. Okay, actually here one difference is there. Parameter list. Now, let us see how this method is executed and returns value. Now, these are the actual arguments, int a 5, b 10 and c. Now we are making the method call, calling the method calculate sum. Through this method call, we are passing the actual arguments. You understand this? This is like a machine and this is like a switch. A method comes into the operation when you switch it on. So through method call, we can activate a method and it is executed, then it returns results. Now you see here on calling the method, then a's value is copied into x. A is not transferred to x. A's value is copied into x and b's value is copied into y. These are also called formal arguments. Formal arguments are parameters. Actually, these are actual arguments. The values stored in the actual arguments are copied into formal arguments. Okay, that you have to understand. These are temporarily holding the values of the actual arguments for this process. And through these formal arguments or parameters, the values are provided to this. Okay, there are, and one more thing already I told you, if any parameters are there and each and every parameter should be declared independently and they are separated by comma. Okay, thereafter let us come to the body. Within the body, if it is required, any new value is created, we have to create corresponding variable. That variable is called local variable. Here, what new value is created? You have to create sum. Sum is a new value. For that purpose, you have declared one variable, that is a local variable. It temporarily stores a value until the value is returned. Then it should be declared with the appropriate type. Now int versus int. So result should be int. That's why int z we made. Z is equal to x plus y. This is the executable statement. Every method consists of one or more executable statements. But even it is having only one statement also, this block is compulsory. It is not optional at all. So block is compulsory, executable statement we have written. Thereafter, Z should be returned to the caller. So return statement and Z we have written, and this value is returned to the caller. This is the caller, and now you see, not only returning the value, and the control also is transferred to the caller. Here value is there, first value is returned, along with the value the control also is returned. That point you must understand. Now when this is returned, then it receives it, and this value, what is the value of 5 plus 10, 15 is stored in C. This is a mechanism. In this manner you have to understand that. Now what are the components in that? Modifier, optional modifiers, one or more modifiers we can use, and this is a return type, and this is the method's name. Already in previous concepts I explained the naming conventions of the method. Method name should be written in a camel case. It should be a verb, or it should start with a verb, multiply or calculate product, like that we have to write. And a parameter list, in parameter list is there, the optional parameter list is there. Each parameter should be declared separately, and there more than one is there, they are separated by comma. Thereafter, this is a local variable, this is one or more executable statements are there depending on the requirement. Thereafter, this is the return statement. And finally, what I would like to tell you is, you must achieve perfect command over writing methods and all, because all our operations in object oriented program, all our operations are performed through methods only. If you are not comfortable in writing methods and all that, you cannot write a Java program. That's why you meticulously study each and every element, and which type of method you have to write also you should know. Gradually by experience you can know which type of method you have to write, and then you should have a perfect command over writing user defined method. Then only major part of the code of any program is embedded in the methods. That's why you will be comfortable in writing Java programs by achieving command over writing methods.